inside Russia. Thank you for joining another daily update where I explain different things, what is going on in Russia. And today we are having a very heavy topic. I've decided to tell you what is the current situation with the abortions. Little history, statistics, what's going on right now, and how society in general views such topic as abortion. Society in general. Oops. Mods, if you could give me 5 by 5, please. I hope you will. I hope you can hear and see me well. I'm seeing 5 by 5 from Lorna. Thank you so much. Without further ado, let's get right into the topic. As usual, my stream is divided into two parts, distinct parts. First is the message I'm delivering, and the second is comments. I would like to hear your opinions, and moreover, I'd like you to tell what is going on in your part of the woods and what do you think of this whole thing. So, abortions in Russia are legal. Moreover, abortions in Russia were made legal, well, back then it was the USSR, back in 1920, and the USSR became the very first country in the world to give power to women to abort pregnancy. Right now, in Russia, abortion is possible, and this is a right of every woman, guaranteed by the Constitution of Russian Federation. There are three different situations. Up to 12 weeks of pregnancy, any woman of legal age, 18 and above, has a right to go and have an abortion done at her will. And abortions are part of medical insurance provided by the Russian government. In other words, if a woman decides to go and have an abortion up to 12 weeks of pregnancy, Russian government will pay for it and will provide medical assistance. There are some social causes, and if there are social causes, then abortion can be performed up to 22 weeks of pregnancy. And there is a third cause. If there at any time of pregnancy there's a medical condition, then abortion can be performed at any time. On any case, on any term, any period of pregnancy. In other words, if giving birth will endanger pregnant woman's life to a point when doctors see that a woman would die from giving birth, then abortion would be performed. Basically, they're valuing mother's life more than unborn child's life. This is the current law infrastructure that exists in the Russian Federation. Right now, in Russia, population of Russia, well, I've heard different numbers, but around 145 million people, give or take. And the latest statistics, the latest year that the statistics was counted, they were around 500,000 abortions performed. Now, again, Russia was the first country to make abortions legal, the Soviet Union. And it happened because in the Soviet Union, in this new philosophy of a new country, the government gave same rights to women as men had before. And one of the rights was to actually have an abortion. There are three distinct periods abortion law-wise in the USSR, and I'm going to tell you what they are right now. They're from 1920 to 1936, when abortions were legal and performed in large quantities. Then from 1936 to 1955, abortions were outlawed. And from 1955 and on up to current day, abortions were made legal again. And I will go in depth for those periods, and I'll tell you why this happened. There is very heated social discussion in Russian society right now. It's been going on for about 15 years, I would say. Before 2005, we didn't really hear any public talks on how abortions should be banned, made illegal, and how legal laws should be changed, and so forth. So Russian society, I can't say it's split, but there's a discussion, social discussion, heated one. Now, let's go back into history. 1920, 1936. So that's when abortions were recognized as legal and women were allowed to perform them. Young Soviet state wanted to be different. It wanted to show that it recognized women as much as men, and it actually did, and it gave women absolute same rights as men did have at the time. That was a very, very turbulent time. There was a civil war, bloody civil war fought in Russia. And then the there was too much politics, too many changes happening in the USSR, okay? And I guess abortions were not the most pressing issue, the most pressing topic. There was a fight with faith, okay? Russian government was trying to exterminate religion from the Soviet society and replace it with a new one, communism. There was a huge fight. Abortion was a tiny, 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 non-important issue at the time. But it became important in 1936 because Russian population started declining big time. There was a huge demographic problem. More people were dying than born because results of bloody civil war back in the early 20s that took out so many people and took out so many men. And the right to abort was, I guess it was used too many times because women did not feel that the times were stable enough so they could have kids and raise them in the right way and so forth. So from 1936, and of course World War II followed, and 20 million people were killed, so many Russian men were killed, and demographic went even worse, But at 1936, abortions were outlawed. There was a new legal infrastructure set up, and it existed for 19 years. In 1955, there was a new set of rules introduced, and abortions became legal again. But there were some very strict rules about abortions. Just like I told you, they were only legal up to 12 weeks. After that, fetus were considered to become human and a child, and in the doing abortion after 12 years in a normal situation has been considered murder of a child, and there's legal actions for that. Instead of banning abortions, the USSR actually started doing a very, very good thing. It started promoting mothership, motherhood, I think this is the right word. Basically, it started doing three things. It started informing women on what dangers of abortions there are. It started improving conditions for mothers to actually have kids and to provide to receive help from the government. And it started providing much better health care for mothers and for children. For example, mother in Russia, and I think it happened, this law was introduced in 1955. For example, a lady works at a company and she gets pregnant. Then, at a certain period of pregnancy, I think at 6 months, she notifies her company and she takes a 2-year vacation. It's called maternity leave. Not a vacation, really, but time to give a birth to a child and to raise a child up to 18 months, I think. And she gets paid. She gets paid from the government and her job is kept. Meaning 2 years later she comes back and she gets the job back. It's a law. The company must give her the job back. Okay, and I think the government pays the salary. So this is huge. I didn't hear of anything like that in other countries. Definitely not in the USA, but I might be misinformed on the issue. Okay, there are lots of benefits, smaller benefits for mothers that promote motherhood. Okay, and of course, kids get free medical assistance. As far as I know, I am a father myself. I have many, many relatives who are fathers and mothers. So I know for sure that Russian doctors take this responsibility of caring for kids very, very seriously. And Russian law is very strict. If a doctor does negligence, he or she pays dearly. For example, a baby is born, mother and baby spend up to 3 years after birth recovering at the birth house and the maternity ward, recovering from birth. Okay, the doctors look at the condition of mother, saying, okay, she's safe for child, developing normally. They can be released and go home. Once, if something goes wrong, mother and a child can spend up to 90 days in hospital free of charge, getting like really good care and things like that. Once home, a local doctor within 10 days show up, knocks on the door, and starts, it's called monitoring the baby. Every so often, the doctor first comes, then I think at 6 months old, a mother starts taking baby to a local clinic, and local doctors, they monitor the development of the baby to make sure that, nothing wrong happens. So these things are provided by the government, and not just by the government, by the system, the Russian system, and it's very accepted in the society, meaning that women cannot get in trouble by employer. Employer cannot and usually does not discriminate for women who get pregnant. They come back after a couple years and they get the jobs back and things like that. So this is like a normal system here. Some statistics now. In 1990, there were 3.92 million abortions in Russia. That is a huge, huge number. What happened back then, the USSR at the latest stage was very turbulent place, not a nice place to live. And women didn't want to give birth to children because First of all, they were afraid that they would not be able to provide enough resources. Basically they won't be able to feed children properly, okay? Especially if already was a child in the family, second or third child, they considered it as a burden, financial burden. They were just too afraid, I guess, scared. Then New Russia, kind of same thing was happening for a few years, but the good thing is the number of abortions started declining in Russia. So the worst year was 1990. Again, 3,920,000 abortions performed. Fast forward to 1999, there were 2 million abortions. Life in Russia was getting better, okay? Therefore, there were fewer abortions because women wanted to have kids. Fast forward to 2012, we had 935,000 abortions. That's a huge difference, half, okay? And 2017 is the last year I have statistics for. It was even better, 627,000 abortions. A little over million, half million. I'm sorry, a little over 500,000. So there's definitely been a very, very good trend for decreasing of abortions. But at the same time, around 2005, Russian society started having discussion of whether abortions should be banned here in this country, or somehow making an abortion, performing an abortion, should be made harsher. You know what I mean? Not every woman would be able just to go ahead and do it before the fetus would reach 12 weeks. Huge discussion. So basically, this ethical problem was introduced, and there were two sides formed. One side was supported by the church. Church, definitely Russian Eastern Orthodox Church, does not like this idea of abortions very much. They consider that the pregnancy is a gift from God, and God gives this miracle of life, and the child becomes human, the child, right from the start, okay? And there are some scientists in the Russian society who actually support this point of view. But there's also a different part of the society who supports abortions as the right of women to actually make a decision and plan their own life, their own destiny and fate. Okay? Some say, and quite a few of them say, that fetus is human from moment zero, the conception is done. And some say that fetus becomes child only on later stages of development. Okay? This social discussion has reached into the politics, and of like Russian politicians are more, well, there's not a huge competition in Russian politics. Let's put it this way. I'm saying it mildly, if you know what I mean. Please read between the lines. So most decisions Russian politicians make uniformly, okay? But this particular question, the voices have been split. And there are groups in Russian political circuit that support church's view, and they actually support the view that abortions must be outlawed. For example, there's a very, very heavyweight politician. Her name is Elena Mizulina. She tried to actually introduce idea to the Russian parliament, the Russian Senate, of exclude abortions from the system of state medical insurance. In other words, women would have to pay for abortions out of their own pockets. That proposition failed, and it happened in, I believe, 2015, something like that. Not too long ago. But the discussion has been going on and continued. And in 2017, Vladimir Putin himself addressed the issue in one of the speeches. Well, I guess he's well aware of this problem, and he said that although he was against abortions, he said that making them illegal will not solve the problem, because in that case, abortions would be performed illegally, or women would travel to other neighboring countries to perform abortions. And it would just outlawing abortions, banning, would just make things worse for women's health and children's health. So he said that another way was needed. Russian Ministry of Health has also been involved in debates, and although it's been against this measure of excluding insurances from, government paying for abortions, they've started working with Russian Eastern Orthodox Church very closely. And before, there was a measure that before actually sending a woman to perform abortion, because she would need to consult with a doctor, and then there are some certain medical procedures and so forth. What happened? There was an experiment of a number of women were sent to speak to a priest before actually making the final decision to have an abortion. And they were, let me look up the exact number, around 38,000 women who decided not doing abortions after speaking to priests. Okay, so 38,000 more children were actually born. And as far as I understand, this practice continues to this day. Such a difficult and new issue for me that I had some cheat sheets with statistics. Anyway, to sum up, I will tell you this. Russian society is split, but it's not a huge split like in other countries, like for example in the United States, right, where society is radicalized, one part and another part against one another. Well, we have so many more other problems other than discussing abortions, okay? And there are two parts of society. One part is actually thinking that abortions should be banned and the laws should be changed, but that's a small part. According to different statistics, from 4 to 11% of Russian citizens think that abortions should be banned. Another part, and that's much larger part, thinks that women must have the right to make a choice whether to have an abortion, to do an abortion, or not. Okay, and of course, certain programs informing women of the risks and so forth they exist here in the society. So it's not a huge fight. there are certainly discussions in the political circles, and they're going on right now as we speak, but those discussions are actually not that heated as of many other things. And those discussions actually certain politicians, not the parties, not huge groups of people, not the voters, but the opinions of certain politicians. And that's pretty much it. So I hope that I have given you information about what is happening in Russia concerning the issue of abortions. I'm not making any personal judgments on the issue because I understand that some people support the right of women to have to do an abortion, and some people do not support. Okay, but in Russia, this is what we have today. Personally, it's such a difficult topic. It's not even a philosophical topic. Okay, I was gonna say philosophical. It's actually this reaches far deeper into our souls. It's not about the philosophy. It's about faith. It's about religion. It's about science. It's about responsibility. Responsibility for your actions on the spiritual, on the level of God, because we have direct connection with God, and we bear responsibility for our actions. But this particular action, abortion, is very big responsibility. That's how I'd say it. I hope that you found this information interesting. I'm gonna turn on the comments right now. Before doing that, it's gonna be a heated discussion, I think. So please keep it civil. Please use common sense. Common sense is the king. Please, no crude remarks or hostile comments. Okay, respect other people's opinions. No crude usernames, English only. Please, no trolling. Don't even try. And there are a couple topics that I am asking you to avoid. There are everything Ukraine, actions of Russia, Russian army in Ukraine, and criticism of top Russian leadership, and discussing number of casualties in Ukraine and in the Russian army. Everything else is okay. So thank you so much. I'm turning on the comments now. Please let me know what you think. This topic is quite big, and if I didn't deliver some information that you can ask, and I will be glad to answer if I know, if I can provide you educated opinion on that. Hang on, please. Dirk is number one. Dirk, you're gonna ask why Russians paint tree trunks white? Reese Gray, Brianna, Lorna, Bruce, Martin, AKDA, Zdenek, 2 Minutes to Midnight, Susan, Lorraine, Suri, David, another David, Julia, Yodi Racer, Reese Gray sends the first super chat. Thank you so much. Hello from Canada, Mr. Popular. I'm stuck at a family lunch today, so I just popped in to send some support and well wishes. Reese, thank you so much. Very, very much appreciated. Very, well, how do I say that? Very welcomed. I'll catch the replay because this seems like a very interesting topic. Well, This topic is not just interesting, it really touches the very fabric of life, and I can't really tell you whether it's good what's going on in Russia or it's bad. I simply don't know, okay? But I've delivered you what is the current state of affairs here in my country concerning the issue. So thank you, Reese. The usual suspects. I see many familiar faces. Well, names, not really, not faces. Lorna slacking today. Came in fourth. Dirk wins, yes. Well, Lorna, you have so many wins under your belt, so don't even worry about that. Thank you from Wanderer. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hello from London, says Ludmila. Los Angeles, Brian Woods. Howdy, howdy. Sandy, how do they feel about adoptions? Russians? Well, Russians feel about the adoptions in the same way that you think you feel about the adoptions anywhere in the world. We're the same people as the Americans, the Australians, the Europeans. In some ways, we're different in Russia, but concerning love to children, there's no difference. We're human, humans, same as you are. So a lot of Russians adopt children. The government helps. It runs special programs helping families with adopted children. And there are many parents who just adopt kids and save them from misery not having parents, and or trying to save them. I don't know. So, Sandy, hope I answered your question. $5 from MM93 must win. Hello from Delaware. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Appreciate it. Martin, hello from Czech Republic. Howdy, howdy. I forgot all the Czech words. I used to know how to say in Czech, hello, goodbye, thank you, but I forgot. My mom and dad lived in Prague for 10 years, and I frequented Prague. Basically would fly every few months to visit them and say hi. Howdy, howdy, buddy. Joe, I am pro-choice, but with proper education. Abortion cannot be used as alternative contraception. Now, please forgive me for not answering all comments, and sometimes I feel that my live streams are too short because I would like to address every single comment. Don't worry, Lorna, Mommy, Harry, Bob S, Robert, don't worry, I'm not gonna go for hours, but sometimes I just wish there was some more time so I could address all the comments. But Joe, this is a very, very, how do I say that? Very, not interesting, but very important. Well, let me explain you what started happening in Russia in the 90s. You said that abortion cannot be used as alternative contraception. Right after the USSR fell apart, and that's Natasha told me about that. I didn't know until today. I started researching on the topic, and she actually gave me quite a few insights. Back in 1991, Russia opened up as market to the West, and oh my God, there was like a floodgate opened, and everything started just flooding Russia. All consumer goods, services, music, movies, you name it. You all remember walking down Moskva, walking in Gorky Park, listening to the wind of change, that kind of stuff. Oh my God, I remember those times. Along with good stuff, well, I'm not sure if it's bad or not, along with everything else, contraception from the West came. And oh my God, girls started abusing it. Because the old world with ethics, morals, fell apart. Everything that was considered good back then, disappeared, just like a puff. And then anything started going in the 90s, okay? So they started having wild sex with everyone. And there were pharmaceutical companies from the West. They just showed up and they started bribing Russian doctors, saying, hey, we have great contraception drugs. And that's what the girls should use. And the doctors were actually selling this idea, saying, hey, it's great. You just take this pill, you won't get pregnant, you will feel better, your skin will be better. But little did they know that there were some huge side effects, right? They're horrendous. For example, a girl taking contraception in the future might had a chance of not having been able to have kids forever, right? Or some other side effects, right? The bad ones. And the actually pharmaceutical companies 15 years after, by 2007, pulled out many contraception drugs off Russian market, saying, hey, you know what, the side effects far outweighed the good sides of this thing. So anyway, they started using contraception en masse, but contraception is not 100%. In some cases it fails. And like I gave you the statistics, almost 3 million abortions. And there was a huge number of abortions every single year, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. Partially due to this reason, uncontrollable using of contraception, unproved contraception drugs. Okay, so the girl would get pregnant and boom, she would go and get an abortion. So I totally agree with you that abortion cannot be used as alternative contraception. Definitely, there are options out there. There are ways, and it's actually a moral choice. Difficult. Donna, thank you so much for $10. My body, my choice. Thankfully, nothing changes in California despite some backward states. Donna, I hear you. Message is well received. This message is very widespread in Russia, like I said. My body, my choice. I agree with that every person, every woman has a choice of do whatever, but there is a connection between God, and this is a responsibility. And making the choice, a person must be aware of all consequences and, of all kinds. That's all. Thank you very much. Brianna, the common argument is when life begins. Yes, just like I said, there are two general views here in Russia. Something that life begins at contraception and something that life begins like on later stages of pregnancy. Woman should be using contraceptives if she does not want to have a baby. Just my 2 shillings. By contraceptives, I don't think you should. I don't think that you mean just drugs. Okay, there are other ways as well. I hope this is how I understood it. Xiao Spetsnaz. Wow, long time no see, buddy. Hello, Kay. Hope all is well. Well, all is generally well, as much as it can be well these times. Sorry I have been gone for so long. Hey, you know what? You were missed. Xavier, howdy. Scott. Rose from Canada. Elsha, you're rapidly becoming an excellent journalist. What? This is unusual. I don't really consider myself a journalist whatsoever. Compliments from Holland. I take the compliments though. Thank you so much. I'm not a journalist. I'm not an activist. I'm just a guy, a father, a worker of engineering company, a manager, an executive. Just a guy trying to make a difference in my country. That's basically it. I'm not a journalist. I'm sorry. This showman. Hello from London. Howdy, howdy. Michael Sullivan. Many priests of all kinds are creeps. Personal experience, and because of their lifestyle, are hardly in a position to give anyone advice. Michael, well, that's your experience. I've met many priests that are good people. I'm sure there are some creeps, just like with anything else. There are some good people out there, some bad people out there, Some are not in a position to give anyone advice, but many, many priests are, at least here in Russia. Truth on Wheels, howdy. Walter, Donna, Irina. Hi, for me it's a matter of my rights being taken away. Leave religion out of the government. By the way, I'm a Southern Baptist who feels that way. Irina, point well taken. Thank you. Thank you so much. In my eyes, I don't know what to tell you. I have four values in my life. They are God, that's value number one. Family, that's second most important value. Freedom, and hard work. And you're absolutely right. If state forbids women to have abortions, that's actually a right and freedom being taken away. Simon West, good evening from Estonia. Howdy. Mads Lindström, hello, hello. Angie, oh boy, you are opening a can of worms. Huge divide in the US, especially after last week. Angie, this is life. Life is full of cans of worms, okay? I open a can of worms every time I take this mic and I start speaking my opinion, because a lot of people disagree, a lot of people don't like this opinion, you should see how much heat I take from Russia. People actually started like recognizing me. All right, I start getting emails from old friends who saw my live streams, podcasts, or whatever. So that's okay. A can of worms, at least it's something to be discussed and not something not to be hid from others. Jay Corson, as much as you are attempting to be impartial, this is fireworks, a sad state of affairs in America. What is impartial? I don't understand. Sad state of affairs in America. Well, I hope America will get through all the troubles and challenges and will come out on top. Marilyn, good afternoon, everyone. Very breezy day in the mid-Michigan. The previous two comments I made, Angie and Jay, you know what? This community of people is actually decent. We have many, many great people here, and there are some occasional trolls. There are people whose messages need to be deleted, but most people are civil and actually good. And so far, what I'm seeing, decent comments. Zdenek, thank you so much for the super chat. Crazy to see that the Soviet Union cared about women's health more than the US today. On a more serious note, I only agree with abortions in some cases, but I believe making them generally available does way more good than bad. Thank you very much for your opinion. Zdenek and everyone, one of the things I didn't like in the United States, well, I'm a normal person, I'm sane, and I hope that I have a little bit of common sense. So some things I like and some things I dislike about different countries. In the USA is the same thing. I disliked that very little help was given from the state to pregnant women and to new mothers when the birth was given. So basically, mothers are out there on their own. And I think that's not a good policy. I think mothers must not be left alone on their own. And they're in very vulnerable position, so to speak, okay, at that time of their lives. And that's very important time of their lives, okay? So at that time, more help, more support need to come from the government, from the state. So that's one of the things. I agree with you, Zdenek. That's I couldn't believe that there's such a little amount of help was given, like in the USA, to young mothers. Sandy, howdy, howdy. Mimi Blue, thank you. Harry, great to see you. Thank you. Richard Young, hard to believe a Supreme Court ruling would be felt around the world, even in Russia. Oh, better believe it. That made news and splashes here in Russia. David, women have the right to choose. Point taken, thank you. Simon, I think what most people disagree on is frivolous abortion, and this is the main source of friction in America. I should take your words. I don't know what to say. I'm not familiar with the issue. Michael Vernon, thank you. So your point is also taken. Susan Gates, adoption is a beautiful thing. Agree. I know quite a few people who adopted children through the charity that my wife helped found long time ago. They also help the large families, bringing them, clothing, needed things, furniture, and stuff like that. There are some families who have up to 10 adopted children. I actually visited one of the families' home. It's like a little commune, so to speak. It's a fantastic place. Turbo Jones, does Russia pay if you have a baby? Well, mother gets lots of support, like I said, but there are payments, but they're like tiny. They're like not even in hundreds of dollars. They're just very little. So it's definitely not enough to motivate a person to have a baby. But that just, we Russians, we have children out of our love for families and having children. That's it. No one wants to have a child to get something from the government. That's not the cost. But the help that comes, not great help, not huge help, but some help is definitely welcome. Airborne snail. I'm watching the time, 53 minutes. I'm gonna skip to the later part of the comments. Terry Carter, Constantine, you make some valid points about the stages of fetus. I'm not making any points. I merely did some research and I relay to what scientists and some influence groups are saying. So I'm not a doctor. I don't have any expertise in this matter. Dina Latour, not everyone have the same religion beliefs. Please do not force your beliefs on me. Me to have my own beliefs, thus I'm pro-choice. Point taken. Vance, Constantine, that is so true. Life is not a box of chocolates, it's a can of worms. Don't have to agree with you. This time I do. But I would fight if you're right to say, thank you so much, Vance. This is the most important thing. You see, this is the most important thing. When I first came to the United States, every single American that I would disagree on something would tell me that. They knew I was fresh off the boat. They knew that I didn't really understand how America worked, and they kept saying that. Hey, I disagree with your opinion, whatever, but you know what? You have a right to it. You're entitled to have your own opinion, and I will fight, and I will die fighting for your right to have this opinion. So thank you, Vance. Thank you so much. It seems like in Russia things are changing, away from this statement. About 3 minutes, and I will ask everyone to pray. I actually have a little different prayer today. We have a comment from sponsor. Sponsor is no comment. Take Mexico, no longer a crime. It was estimated that up to 1 million women had illegal abortions each year. With every fifth person, complications arose involving a hospital. Think coat hanger. Well, no comment. Mexico, it's no longer a crime. So, is situation becoming better or worse with abortions? What is the trend? Hoodoo, Texas, thank you. Here's the truth about abortion. Both sides are right and both sides are wrong. Not everything can be fixed. We will argue unhappily, but civilization will go on. Oh, you know what? I couldn't have said better myself. Both sides are right and both sides are wrong. I'm actually gonna make a note of that. I love this statement. It's not just about the abortions, it's about so many other things that we discuss and we fight on. Without opening a can of worms, but Russia has a high divorce rate and a rather fast growing population of single mothers now. This saddens me to no end. Children need a father. Brianna, oh, I could not agree more with you. Yes, that is a problem. And Russia divorces in Russia are going up, and this is a problem. And there are so many single mothers now. It seems like I've told you many times that foundations of Russia are family and the state. And this family foundation has been taking a hit after hit after hit. I know it's sad. I know it's a tragedy. It's just I don't remotely know what can be done about this. Couple more questions I'll take, and that's it. Angie, making it illegal won't make women stop. It will just involve complications and women dying. I cannot not to agree with you. You're absolutely right. It will not stop it. Making it illegal, it will not stop it. Like in the United States, what happened was, the Supreme Court decision was made, and many states decided that immediately that abortions are illegal. How that those decisions, how that making abortions illegal, I don't know which states, but anyway, let's say Texas, okay? Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I'm just saying. Let's say a woman gets pregnant, she wants to get an abortion, but all of a sudden it's illegal in Texas. What does she do? She travels to another state. And there will be clinics who, in the states, who will not ban abortions, who will take all women who want to have abortions, right? Let's say all clinics in all states in the United States make abortions illegal. What do women do? They will travel down to Mexico. Heck, they will fly to Russia. They will, like, whatever, they will go to other countries. And if it's difficult for them, unaffordable or whatever, they will make it illegally. Okay, that's the tragedy. This law will not change much in terms of abortions. Okay. Cowboy Bebop, how have you been, Constantine? I've been well as it can be, as a person can be well in these trying times here in Russia. Okay. My friends, I hope you found this message interesting. I hope that you learned new information about Russia. I would like to invite everyone to pray. If you're a believer, please join me to pray. And if you're a non-believer, please join me to pray anyway. I believe that there are non-believers or believers. We're all the same. And we have hearts, they beat. And therefore we have some love in our hearts. And love is God. It's not really, doesn't really matter if we believe in God or not. He believes in us. He lives in our hearts. That's what matters. So if you don't like to call this prayer, please call it sending good energy, good vibes, or good wishes, good thoughts to a person or people. But please join me. Oops. Dear God, thank you so much for giving us this wonderful Sunday. Thank you for giving us rest. Thank you for giving us food on our tables, roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding us with good people, loved ones, family, friends, relatives, colleagues. Thank you very much. Please help stop bloodshed in Ukraine. Reach out and touch hearts of people who can make decision to stop. Fill their lives with mercy, forgiveness, compassion, and love. Make their hearts softer. I am asking you to reach out and touch the heart of Vladimir Putin, Russian president, and fill it with mercy, remorse, forgiveness, and make it softer so he decides to stop the bloodshed. He makes a decision. Please help everyone in Ukraine who's been affected. Give people strength. Give them comfort. Give them what they're asking you for. Keep everyone out of harm's way. Please send angels to everyone who needs protection and help from angels right now. Please help who is helping the Ukrainians, the people who have been in need, who have been displaced. Please help people who open their homes, who open their wallets, who open their hearts, minds, send support, send money, send prayers. I would like you to reach out to every single woman who is pregnant right now and she is thinking of abortion and she's thinking of making this decision. Please reach every single lady, every single woman, and speak to her and have her make the right decision. There are so many women that need your help right now, today. So please reach out and help them so they make the right choice. Please help us, give us wisdom to grow our children who already born in the way that when they grow up, they will make this place a better world and will never fight with one another, will make right decisions always, and love one another. I would like to ask you to help everyone who is praying along with me or watching us pray. I am asking to reach out and fill these people's hearts with love, make their wishes come true, and answer their prayers. I am thanking you for providing us this opportunity to come together as a virtual community of like-minded people and pray. Thank you. I would like to mention a few people. They reached out and asked me to put them into the prayers. They are Nine Veka, Alan, Michael, Elena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Igor, Buzz, Anne-Mary, Jean-Paul, Paula, Janine, Marlene, Michael, Maddie, Narnian Lady, Susan S., Sabrina, Jeffrey, Susan, Fiona, Chirper, Madeline, Ellen, Stephen, Paul, Freddie, Priscilla, Brian, Martin, Donald from Wisconsin, USA. He's asking for himself and for his country, the United States of America. Ariana, Liz Dumbrell, Bruce B., Anna, a blogger from Ukraine. I have a couple special requests for 3 children, Maverick, Sebastian, and Britzel Andrews. Britzel is fighting a very serious disease and she needs your help. Her family needs your help. Please perform a miracle. Show your glory to these people. They really, really need it. Also would like to ask for Kylene. Her husband passed away. She has recently had twins. Really needs your help. Please send angels and send all the help she needs. Thank you very much. Amen. My friends, thank you very much for coming. It was not the lightest message I delivered, but you know what? Life is not always fun. Sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's easy. I guess not so easy today. Very, very heavy. The past 4 months have been heavy anyway. So, thank you for coming. I hope you found something interesting and valuable for you. Tomorrow, I would like to make an announcement. I have a stream and a video. After the stream, I would like to do a premiere right after. I actually did quite a bit of filming today and in the past few days. I took my wife Natasha to a couple shopping malls here in Russia to actually compare our shopping mall here in Rostov to the one in Moscow and to show you another one, really expensive and posh shopping mall and how things are there. And actually things are quite interesting, so I think you will enjoy. Tomorrow I have pretty strong message about what's happening in Russia, why Russia and Russians thinks that it's surrounded by enemies, and after that I'm gonna premiere a video. So please come back tomorrow and have a great week. Thank you so much.